This is what G read. You will go a long way. You will go a long way.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is Goldy. I just watched one of my favorite YouTubers, Boogie2988. He was discussing the 7 most important video games which he's played in his life, and I just, as soon as I saw the video pop up in my feed, I'm like, I have to watch that, it looks great. So triggered by all that nostalgia, I thought I would go through my top 7 games which I have been most important in my life. Some of them you may not know because, like, I don't know if they got played a lot, but anyway, let's go into the first one. So the first one was the Commander Keen series. It's kind of like a side-scrolling platform video game. And you basically control this hero called Commander Keen, and you go around. You can also use a pogo stick to jump around, which is so much fun, and you collect little bits and pieces. I don't know, I found it just so fun. I found the world really exciting, and being very young at the time, it was just like, wow, this is so cool. Like, I'm on this spaceship, and then these aliens, and then there's these weird things. It was just really cool. I loved it. Yeah, so that was probably the first game that really got me into video gaming. And the second game I loved growing up was called Jill of the Jungle. So Jill of the Jungle came out around the same time as Commander Keen, as well as Duke Nukem, and I did play a little bit of Duke Nukem, but I gravitated a lot more to Jill of the Jungle, I think because, it was really cool playing this Amazonian woman who has all these types of weapons and enhancements, and there weren't a lot of female lead sort of games back then. So yeah, for me, I really enjoyed it, and you just sort of jump around, do stuff. It's the simplicity of it, but it's just so much fun. So yeah, I think that definitely was like the first, it sort of like bolstered my love that I had already started brewing from, playing Commander Keen and Duke Nukem, and seeing a female lead. This is so cool. Yeah, so that really kind of nailed in and stitched in my love for video games. And number 3 on the list is Hocus Pocus. So yeah, this came out a bit later. This is another side-scrolling adventure game, and you are Hocus, who is sent by Tyrexian, leader of the Council of Wizards, as a young sorceress on this sorcerer rather, on an adventure to prove your worthiness. And I found it just so much fun. I loved sort of the dark kind of gothic element to it, the fantasy element. It just hooked me in, and it's one that I could play for days at a time, literally days at a time. Yeah, so definitely Hocus Pocus was a huge game in my life. So back in the heyday of gaming, I just want to let you know that you could often get what's called shareware. So often the games would come out like, Jill of the Jungle 1, 2 and 3. You could get number 1 for free. If you wanted to get 2 and 3, you need to purchase it. So because of this, I was able to try out a lot of cool games, and one of the next games on my list is Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure. I just loved this so much, because it was just another side-scrolling game, and lots of cool sounds, and just like lots of little places to adventure to. I just really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. It's just extremely addictive and very easily playable. So Monkey Island was the next video game that has stayed very true in my heart. Both all versions, especially number 1 and 2. I think maybe because at the time, being a teenage girl, and the pirate Guybrush Threepwood was kind of like, oh my god, he's so dreamy. Yeah, so I had a bit of a crush on a video game character. There's more than you need to know. Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. It's just, if you have not played it, you must. It's just the best game you'll ever play. You are a pirate, and you're out there to defeat the plans of the evil undead pirate LeChuck, and also to gain the love of Elaine Marley. It's just so fantastic because there's so many different ways. It's sort of like a choose your own adventure. There's different ways you can go about it. There's different ways you can answer things. There's no one linear path. There are multiple ways you can go, and that's what I love so much about it, and continue to do till this day. EverQuest 2 has to be the next on the list. So playing EverQuest 2 was one of the best and one of the worst times of my life, and I think I'll just say the worst first, get that out of the way. I think I became incredibly addicted to this game, so much so that I would spend many hours of a day continually and not wanting to go out. Like, if I wanted to go out, I would be upset because I wouldn't be able to play my character. I'd be losing this progress. If I was out in a social situation, I'd be like, oh god, I could be doing so much in this game right now. It was really bad. I was incredibly addicted to this game. But besides the negative, the positive was that I found the best guild. I found so many wonderful people. We had so much fun going on our little adventures, going through dungeons, and everything about the game was just so immersive, and I just don't know how else. It's one of those games that needs to be experienced to be understood, and unfortunately the game isn't as good as it used to be because of developer cuts in the company, and they were part of Sony Online Entertainment and moved on to Daybreak Games, and Daybreak Games just sort of inherited this legacy game that they're like, oh, I can't be bothered, rather try with new releases. So it's kind of, done its day, but back in its heyday, it was a wild ride. You would have a lot of fun in the game. So that leads me up to my next game, which is none other than World of Warcraft. Who has not played World of Warcraft? I resisted it for a long time because I was like saying, I was of the sort of frame of mind of, EverQuest 2 is so far superior to World of Warcraft. Why would I want to play a cartoony video game? I want to see actual blood on my armor. I don't want to see bright different colors everywhere. So I had a bit of an elitist attitude and never really gave myself a chance to play. So I sort of dipped my toes in and played an undead, I think it was, I don't remember, maybe a warlock. But yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun, and it kind of was lukewarm at first, I have to say, and took a little bit of a break, and I came back for Cataclysm, and I just thought that was so cool. I just had so much fun. I really got into it. I made a whole bunch of max level characters, and yeah, I just found it really great. And I have sort of since then I kind of play seriously at the start of an expansion, and then I kind of dwindles away and I play other games towards the end. Like at the moment I'm not really playing any more of Legion. I really feel like I burnt out hardcore doing the mythic ratings, so I think maybe a lesson for the future for myself is maybe rating's not such a great part of the game because it can burn you out, and it really is for that minute couple of % that want to do the serious hardcore rating. Yeah, so I think World of Warcraft. And I know that Boogie only did 7. I have to add in a bonus number 8. And you're not going to know. Of course you're not going to know what number 8 is going to be. Of course you're not. It's Overwatch. I love Overwatch so much. So I sort of touched on this in a previous video, but I'll briefly let you know. I remember the first time I walked in on someone playing Overwatch, and I heard all the sounds, and I was watching the video game, and it sounded like this completely immersive adventure, and I'm like, oh, this sounds so cool. And the voice lines were sort of getting my butterflies in my stomach racing, and I just felt so excited, and I was like, oh, I want to join in, this sounds so cool. So eventually I got into the game. I applied for the beta. I got into the beta in the later stages and had so much fun with it. The early days of Overwatch, before the toxic trolls come stomping out of their pond and putting their mud all over our beautiful, beautiful game, were the best. And, the game is still good today. There's some work that needs to be done, of course, but yes, it is still quite good. So what about you? What is your top 7 or maybe 8 games? Or do you even have a top game, just one maybe, that you really enjoy? Because I do think that we spend a lot of our lives as gamers, playing video games. So they do have an impact on our lives. And I think it's important to think about that and appreciate it for what it is. A lot of people often want to say, oh, video games are a waste of time. Well, it's not really, because it's a way to socialize with other people. You may join a guild or a clan, and it's a very, very good way to use your mind rather than watching TV and being, just a zombie. You're actually problem solving, you're communicating, you're leading people, and, you know, having a great time with other people. So it's a fantastic thing, and I don't know what else to say. I think that's it. There's probably a lot more games that I could have listed. What I did was I just wrote down on a list the ones that first came to mind. So the ones that were top of my head that instantly I was like, yeah, that was really influential in my life. I could have probably gone on for a lot longer. But anyway, I think I'll wrap this one up. So enough about me. I want to know what your top game is of all time. What has hit your heart so hard that you can never let it go, and it's forever cemented into the ever-growing arches of your cranial skull. Jeez, that sounded... Why do I come up with these really stupid things? Whatever. Anyway, thanks again for watching. If you did enjoy it, please like it, and you know, maybe I'll make a part 2 and subscribe for more. Catch you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys. Goldy out. Bye.